Brought to you by Penguin.
The Truths We Hold, An American Journey by Kamala Harris.
Preface. Most mornings, my husband Doug wakes up before me and reads the news in bed. If I hear him making noises, a sigh, a groan, a gasp, I know what kind of day it's going to be. November 8th, 2016 had started well, the last day of my campaign for the United States Senate. I spent the day meeting as many more voters as I could, and of course cast a vote myself at a neighborhood school up the street from our house. We were feeling pretty good. We had rented a huge place for my election night party with a balloon drop waiting to go. But first, I was going out for dinner with family and close friends, a tradition dating back to my first campaign. People had flown in from across the country, even overseas, to be with us. My aunts and cousins, my in-laws, my sister's in-laws, and more, all gathered for what we hoped would be a very special night. I was staring out the car window, reflecting on how far we'd come, when I heard one of Doug's signature groans. "You gotta look at this," he said, handing me his phone. Early results for the presidential election were coming in. Something was happening, something bad. By the time we arrived at the restaurant, the gap between the two candidates had shrunk considerably, and I was inwardly groaning as well. The New York Times probability meter was suggesting it was going to be a long, dark night. So we settled in for a meal in a small room off the main restaurant. Emotions and adrenaline were running high, but not for the reasons we had anticipated. On the one hand, the polls hadn't yet closed in California. We were optimistic that I was going to win. Yet even as we prepared for that hard-earned celebration, all eyes were on our screens as state after state came back with numbers that told a troubling story. At a certain point, my 9-year-old godson, Alexander, came up to me with big tears welling up in his eyes. I assumed one of the other kids in our group had been teasing him about something. "Come here, little man. What's wrong?" Alexander looked up and locked eyes with mine. His voice was trembling. "Auntie Kamala, that man can't win. He's not going to win, is he?" Alexander's worry broke my heart. I didn't want anyone making a child feel that way. 8 years earlier, many of us had cried tears of joy when Barack Obama was elected president. And now to see Alexander's fear. His father, Reggie, and I took him outside to try and console him. "Alexander, you know how sometimes superheroes are facing a big challenge because a villain is coming for them? What do they do when that happens?" "They fight back," he whimpered. "That's right, and they fight back with emotion because all the best superheroes have big emotions just like you, but they always fight back, right? So that's what we're going to do." Shortly after, the Associated Press called my race. We were still at the restaurant. "I can't thank you all enough for being with me every step of the way, all the time, I told my incredibly loving and supportive family and friends. "It means so much to me." I was overwhelmed with gratitude, both for the people in that room and the people I had lost along the way, especially my mother. I tried to savor the moment, and I did, if briefly. But like everyone else, I soon turned my eyes back to the television. After dinner, we headed to our election night venue, where more than 1,000 people had gathered for the party. I was no longer a candidate for office. I was a United States Senator-elect, the first Black woman from my state and the second in the nation's history to earn that job. I had been elected to represent more than 39 million people, roughly 1 out of every 8 Americans from all backgrounds and all walks of life. It was and is a humbling and extraordinary honor. My team clapped and cheered as I joined them in the green room behind the stage. It all still felt more than a little surreal. None of us had fully processed what was happening.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?